Welcome to the fifth episode of Before You Say I Do Premarital Counseling series. We will be talking about finance, and I want to be sharing it in three portions to make it simple for you. For the first portion, I will share 5 facts. The first one is financial disagreements are a major cause of stress and conflict in marriages. We know that many couples they have conflicts due to finance. The second fact is some of us are naturally inclined towards saving, and savers will always find ways to save, whereas some are naturally inclined towards spending, and spenders find ways to spend. The third fact is taking a close look at how someone spends says a lot about them. How does your spending look like? What does it look like? And what does it say about you? Think about that. The fourth one is being open and transparent about your finance. Right from the start of your marriage relationship is a great start. And the fifth fact is it is not more about how much you earn, but how you manage it that really matters in a marriage relationship. These are the 5 facts. And for the second portion, again, I want to be sharing 5 financial dynamics that couples have. So the first one is where both the couples they are employed, they earn, and they spend their finance independently. So they don't talk about it, they don't share it with one another, but they spend it as the way they like it. And in a marriage relationship, this is not very healthy. The second one is where one partner earns and the other partner is a stay-at-home parent. And in this case also, the one who earns, he or she decides how to spend those finance and does not take the view of the other partner who is a stay-at-home parent. This is also not that healthy. The third one is again where both the partners are working and they spend it independently, but they also have a joint account where they bring in their resources together and spend it for some common use to do with family. So this is somehow okay. And the fourth one is where both the partners are employed again, but they bring in the resources together, they sit down, they work, plan, do budgeting, and spends according to that. This is very healthy. And the fifth and the final one is again where one of the partner earns and the other is a stay-at-home parent. But here the difference between the first one where I mentioned the one partner working and the other partner staying at home, and where the person who earns does the finance alone. Here in this fifth dynamic, what happens is the one who earns sits down with the one who stays at home, and they sit down together, they work on their budget, they plan on according to the priorities, okay, and they spend it in that manner. So this is also quite healthy. So among the 5 dynamics that I have mentioned, the first 2 are not healthy. The third one is somehow okay, but the most important one and how it should be in a marriage relationship is the fourth and the fifth one. So whether both of you are working or whether one is working and the other is a stay-at-home parent, it is crucial that as a married couple, you come together, sit down, take a look at your resources, get to know what are your incomes and how you're going to spend it. So this is really beneficial and something that every married couples should be doing, because in this way you are able to be transparent and open with one another, you're accountable to one another. and this builds trust and also intimacy in a marriage relationship. So I've talked about two portions, and to wrap up, I have the third portion, and this is going to be a mixture, bringing in together everything that I've been sharing in the first and the second portion. So let's talk about two scenarios. The first scenario, where couple A is a family where both the partners are working people and they have two kids. So together they bring in about 1,50,000 a month. But the thing is, they spend extravagantly. They have recurring debts. Okay, so every month their debt is increasing. So how this happens is they live beyond their means. They like to eat outside most of the time. They don't sit and plan together. They like to, spend it on things which are not their priorities. They like to, be very updated with the gadgets and also with their clothing. They prefer new arrivals for the branded stuffs and things like that. Okay, so they're not really working on a budget together, and even though they have their source of income, they don't know how it is being spent, and therefore their debt is getting increased, added on with each month. So this is the first scene. The second scene is where couple B, one is a working person and the other is a stay-home parent, and they earn, say, about 75,000, half of what couple A earns. But here they have three kids, but what they do differently is they sit together and they openly talk about their financial needs, their priorities, and they work together. They plan on a budget together as a couple. And so they also find ways to have some amount of money towards investment for the future needs. And therefore, the difference here is that this couple B, they don't have any debts. In fact, they have investments for the future, and they are able to live decently, very well lived life. So, like as we have seen from the examples of couple A and couple B, we can have a feel of what it looks like when couples, they come together and they work, they talk about it, they plan about it, and they are being open and transparent about their finance and their resources. It really helps them to stay grounded, to understand one another better. They have trust and confidence in one another as well, because they know what is coming in and what is going out, and they know where they are as a couple, as a family, and this really helps. Okay, so as I was saying in the first portion, the fifth fact, it's not about how much you earn, but how you manage it that really counts, right? And like as I have been talking through the second portion, and as I have closed with this third portion, I think we can just summarize everything that I've been saying in the first and the second portion with these examples that I've shared in the third portion. As you come for your premarital counseling, I sit with you and we work on a very simple budgeting exercise, so that you will have a feel of what it will look like when you get married. So we sit down and you do your separate budgeting, and when we look at that and we talk about that, that is where we see the differences. What is your mindset, and or like how would you spend differently, right? So this really helps you to become more aware of how things will work in marriage relationship. Thank you for staying tuned until the end, and in the next episode, we will be talking about parenting. I will be looking forward to have you for that closing session for Before You Say I Do premarital counseling series. Thank you.